If you're a real estate agent using social media to grow your business, I'm sure you've probably seen these three types of reels: talking head reels, B roll reels, and voiceover reels. And since you're here, I can assume that maybe you've tried this type of content before. Maybe you've tried these reels and found that it took you way too long to create them. Maybe you're not getting good engagement, and so you don't see the point. Maybe you just have no clue where to start and you feel completely overwhelmed. Or maybe you feel like, well, I'm not an influencer, I'm a real estate agent. Why do I need to learn all of this? And to that last one, I just want to point out one thing. When you're at a listing appointment, you want to be able to say to the seller, I have an audience of over 50,000 locals interested in real estate content. I get 1 million plus views each month, which is totally doable for you, by the way. Our last listing got over 500,000 views online. That's what you want to go to listing appointments and be able to say. And a lot of agents already are doing this. But first, I want to make something clear here. I will not be teaching you how to make high production, flashy reels that tend to go viral in the real estate industry. And the next time you see a flashy reel with crazy animations, crazy transitions, I want you to check the comments and tell me how many actual buyers or sellers or consumers you see in the comments. When something goes viral in the real estate industry, you'll see comments from other videographers complimenting the video edit, and you'll see comments from real estate agents. So this just goes to show you this isn't helping you reach more future clients. Yes, this type of content is great for establishing yourself in the real estate industry, but there is a type of content that goes viral with your future clients and people in your area. And as a real estate agent, your goal should be to reach those locals or relocators, your future clients. There's a reason that big brands are shifting to user-generated content on phones rather than the highly produced content. It's what actually holds attention, feels authentic, and truly works. Reels are the number one way to reach people who don't follow you yet. But what a lot of agents get wrong here is they think they can post anything as a reel and it's going to get those results. This is wrong. Here's what actually works. The head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, frequently goes on Instagram and tells us exactly how the algorithm works and how you can grow your followers. So let's take it from him.
Unconnected side. So we try to go out and find people who don't follow you, who might love and be interested in your content. And the way that works is kind of like an audition system. We try to make sure every piece of content that's public, that's trying to reach a lot of people, gets a minimum number of views. And then if it does really well, we broadcast that piece of content to more unconnected accounts. And if it does well again, it graduates again. So it's almost like a competition. If it does better than everything else, continue to get promoted and promoted and promoted, which is how you can see content from very small accounts go very viral.
Watch the reel till it's over, how likely you are to send the reel to a friend, and how likely you are to go to the audio page for that reel, which is a way of assessing if you might be interested in creating a reel yourself. And the signals we use are what you tend to be interested in on Instagram, what reels you've watched in the past, and information about the reel, about the author of the reel, and how much you've interacted with that author if you have, in fact, interacted with that author in the past.
So a reel that doesn't get watched does not get results. Your reel must stop the scroll. Your first frame and your first line have to earn the watch. And the most important thing for agents to remember here is that you are not trying to just reach people who are buying or selling right now in your city. So before you go and post something that says 5 tips for buying in city name or 5 tips before selling your home, remember that this is going to be put out in the Instagram algorithm to the abyss of the internet that doesn't know who you are, doesn't live in your area, is not buying or selling a home right now. We need this to perform well when it's shown to the majority of people in your area. Because if it doesn't, if it's so specific and it's not helpful and people don't care, then people are going to pass right by it. You're not going to get any engagement on it, and Instagram is going to stop showing it to new people. That is exactly how you stay in 200 view jail. But instead, when you stop the scroll, hold the watch, and say something relevant to people, that's where you bust out of 200 view jail and start to actually get results. So today, we're going to learn how to create 3 types of reels: talking head reels, B-roll reels, and voiceover reels. So let's get into it. First off, we have talking head reels. All that said, I want to be clear, talking head reels are not the best fit for all agents. They take a lot more time than B-roll content or carousel content that's a lot lower effort and still gets really, really great engagement. But talking head videos are great for building your personal brand and becoming a thought leader in the industry. If you've ever dreamed about being invited on podcasts or stages, this is what helps you build your brand in the real estate industry. So talking head reels can be a good fit for you if you have that desire to really build your personal brand and become a thought leader. It's a good fit if you love to yap, you are a talker, and this content comes natural to you and feels aligned. You're dying to try it, even if it takes more time. It's not a good fit if you're not a big yapper and you prefer quick, easy to customize faceless reels, which we'll get to after we go over talking heads. And it's also a good fit if you've mastered your attract B-roll content, you've grown a following, and now you're really wanting to build trust and have your clients really feel like they're getting to know you before they ever even reach out. And it's not a good fit if you love carousels and B-roll reels and you just want to stick to that, which is totally fine. So let's go over the process for talking head reels. When I was first getting into talking head style reels, I felt completely overwhelmed by the whole process. So I think just understanding what the process looks like is really helpful to getting started. Number one, you're going to ideate your topic. So in this example, I'm using 5 reels that we're going to create. The key here is to batch record. You don't want to spend a bunch of time just creating one reel. It's important to try to do multiple at once so you can block off some time and get it done. So the first step is to ideate 5 topics. This may take you around 30 to 45 minutes. Next, you're going to write 5 scripts. This will take you around 60 to 90 minutes. Then you're going to record the 5 videos. This can take you around 45 to 60 minutes. Then we're going to go into editing the videos. That could take 90 to 120 minutes. Then you're going to write captions and schedule, which may take around 30 to 45 minutes. So your total estimated time for these 5 videos is 4.5 to 6 hours. Now, with Coffee and Contracts in our content studio, we give you reel script generators that will give you the ideas, give you the scripts, and give you the captions. So this will cut your time to only about 2.5 to 3 hours all in. All you'll need to do is record the videos and edit them. So step one, we are going to ideate 5 topics. Now, you can totally go into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever AI you use and have it help you create these topics, but you need to make sure that you're giving it guardrails and context so it understands who you are, who's your ideal client, where you sell, and what your goals are. So you can use this checklist to help it create better content for you. So number one, can I say this in 3 seconds or less? Your hook needs to be extremely fast. You need to grab people's attention in that 3-second window. So you need to deliver a line that tells them why they need to keep watching this reel. Number two, does it give the viewer an immediate reason to stay? Curiosity, emotional pull, or recognition. So one of the biggest ones here is curiosity. Like I just said, saying, hey, I'm going to be talking about this, or you need to avoid this mistake, and you're going to reveal it at the end of the video. Would someone who isn't buying or selling still stop scrolling for this? So is someone who is not in a transaction, they're not thinking about staging their home, they're not worried about pricing their home yet, they're not thinking about winning the offer. Is this relevant to them? And there is a lot of content that is still about buying or selling that's actually relevant to everyone that we want to save for later when we are buying or selling. This is great content, but the boring generic content is not this. Would people in your city or relocating to your city feel that this is relevant to them? So not all content has to fall into this. Like I mentioned, if you're sharing a hack or something along the lines that people are going to want to save for later, then I think that it's okay that this isn't necessarily checked off. But majority of the time for agents, the best type of content is the hyper local content. So you want to make sure that you're calling out that city name in your hook. It's very clear who this is for, your target audience, your ideal clients, which is people who live in your area or who are thinking about relocating to your area. Would someone text this to a specific person they know after watching? Do you really envision that someone is going to find this piece of content worth sharing to their friend or to their spouse. Does it sound like something I'd actually say to a client or friend? So, of course, you don't want to come off as robotic. You want this to be authentic to you. So, does it feel authentic? Step number 2, you're going to actually write your script. Now, here is a simple framework that you can follow. Number 1, obviously, we have the hook in the first 3 seconds. We're going to stop the scroll. You can also throw in a visual hook. I'm sure you've probably seen some content about visual hooks where you sit down into your chair, where you set the camera down, where you're doing something with your hands, something else that is visually engaging and can also help to hook the audience. Also, something that a lot of agents do that works well, especially on TikTok, is establishing credibility. So, right after your hook, having a brief line that says, as a real estate agent that's helped 100 clients relocate, here's what I'm seeing. Something that helps you to establish credibility right off the bat, but not replacing the hook with that, because it's so important that you stop the scroll first. Have a quick little line of credibility if you like, and then get into the value or story. So deliver the idea as quickly as possible. It needs to be extremely brief, to the point, focus on one point that you're making on each reel. Don't try to get into the weeds with anything. We need to keep this as quick and short as possible. Then the call to action. So tell the viewer what to do next. Do you want them to follow you for more? Do you want them to download a relocation guide? Do you want them to schedule a consultation at the link in your bio, send it to someone, save it for later? Give people one clear step of what to do next. All right, so now let's get into good hook, bad hook, where we're going to look at reels that did perform well and compare them to reels that maybe didn't perform as well and see the differences.
You Googled it. I'm answering it. Here's your top ask questions you have before moving to Amelia Island, answered by a local real estate agent and someone who was born and raised here.
So this agent is doing so many things right. We have a really cool title here that is super on brand. She used the typewriter effect, and I just love the way that her video is framed. She has a lovely background. Everything is looking great, but what we can improve here is the hook delivery. So let's take a look again from that
You
angle.
Googled it. I'm answering it. Here's your top ask questions you have before moving to Amelia Island, answered by a local real estate agent and someone who was born and raised here.
So that took about 11 seconds to deliver that hook, and we want to reduce that down to about 3 seconds. So the other thing here is that there's not enough of a curiosity gap with this topic to keep people watching. It's not narrowing in on a specific pain point or desire or question that someone has. It's more broad of just like, I'm going to go over some questions that people have. What would do better is a shorter hook about one of those specific questions that people are Googling about moving to Amelia Island. So this next hook that we're going to look at is delivered much faster, and it creates more of a curiosity gap. So let's see if you can notice it.
Why are people moving to Tennessee? What's all the hype? Coming from someone who works with relocations on a daily basis, let me tell you what our most recent clients have been telling us. Number one thing is land.
So notice how much faster she's moving here. She delivers that hook in about 3 seconds and immediately creates a curiosity gap and makes you think, what is the hype? Maybe you know in your head what you think the hype is, but you want to see what her opinion is because she established herself as an expert so quickly. You'll notice here that she delivers the hook in about 3 seconds, and then she goes into that quick establishing credibility.
Why are people moving to Tennessee? What's all the hype?
So that was about 3.6 seconds. And we also have the text hook on top as well, which is super important for grabbing attention. Most people scroll with their sound off, so you need to always have a text hook.
Coming from someone who works with relocations on a daily basis.
So then she delivers that credibility in about 3 seconds as well. But we already had that hook delivered, so we're already on the line. Now she establishes that credibility. So we're like, okay, I'm curious what her take is. What is she seeing as someone who deals with
Let me
this
tell
every
you what our
day?
most recent client.
All right, so let's get into the next one.
7 signs you are ready to move, okay? Get something bigger, better. Number 1, you keep scrolling Zillow and Redfin like it's your job. It's your second job. You're sending things to your spouse.
So this agent does a great job with the hook here. She's doing a green screen reel where she's revealing information behind her in the Notes app, which is a great visual hook to keep people watching because they want her to see what's behind her and they know she's going to get through the list. And she delivers the hook very fast here. So that is great. The thing that we can improve here is the topic itself. The topic here is not revealing any new information, any hot takes, no opinions really. It's not really share worthy. What it really comes down to is why would someone send this to their spouse or their friend and say, we need to remember this for later, or look at this listing, or wow, this is an interesting stat, or this is an interesting take. If it's just kind of generic information, there's no reason to send it to someone or save it for later. So really look at it through those lens. There's not enough of a curiosity gap that people are wanting to see what are the signs that I'm ready to move. So there's not enough of a substance that's going to keep people watching this. This is also only relevant to a very small percentage of people who are already thinking about moving. The key is to make it relevant to all people, no matter if they're thinking about moving now or in the future or they have before. So now let's look at this reel.
If the home that you like is still on the market, ask for seller credit. Do not go in and ask for a lower sales price.
So this one's really cool and it did very, very well because she's delivering the hook. Listen to how fast she's talking to deliver the hook quickly.
If the home that you like is still on the market, ask for seller credit. Do not go in and ask for a lower sales price.
So that's delivered in about, says like 6 seconds, but she's talking so fast that you're just immediately listening. And it's delivering new specific information. So it's saying, hey, don't ask for a price reduction, ask for seller credit. And here's why. You're getting the value right away as well, but you want to keep listening and understand the reasoning behind it. And this works on anyone, no matter if you were thinking about buying a home one day in the future, you're a homeowner and you're thinking about maybe one day you'll move, you're not really sure, or you've never bought a home. It really works on everyone because everyone wants to save money when they're buying a house, whether you're a luxury client, a first-time client, and whether you're thinking about buying now or later. This is something that you are going to want to send to your spouse or partner or friend who's thinking about buying right now and save for later, which you can see here. She got 1,600 shares, 3,200 saves, 10,000 likes. So this is something that people are saving for later. And it's because it's relevant to everyone that it continued to get pushed out because people watched it all the way through. They sent it. They did all the algorithm signals telling people this is a good piece of content, and it continued to get pushed out. So now let's talk about recording your videos. We're getting into the fun part. So there's 2 different settings that I am going to walk you through, and that is the in the car video, which is very popular for real estate agents, and it is a great place to record your videos, or in your home/office. So the optional equipment for each of these, again, you can just use your phone and still get great results. But if you'd like to get some additional equipment in your car, you can get a car tripod so it holds your phone up nice and steady, or you can get an Octo Buddy, which will make any flat surface turn into a tripod. Or you can maybe just prop your phone up depending on how your car is. Some cars you can like easily prop up your phone without using anything, but you may need to use a car tripod or something of the sort to get that steady view. So you can see this video.
An absolute number one piece of advice for home buyers coming from someone who's helped over 125 people purchase homes over the last 8 years is to stop giving your leverage.
A great hook, a great video, and he got great results, tons of shares and saves. And notice that his camera is completely still. So he's not moving it around all crazy. It's very still, easy to watch. So you want to set your phone down for sure. You just need the right equipment based on your car. Then we have a light ring. So this is something that helps to brighten your face, and a microphone, which can give you a really clear, crisp sound on your video, which can be very helpful. Same thing over here. The only difference is the tripod. You can use just a regular tripod. Like I have this one here, which I'm going to link in the guide. So now let's talk about filming in your car. So this is a great example where she's holding her phone at the beginning, kind of as a visual hook. And then she sets it down so you have that steady view as you're continuing to watch. So
if you would like to buy a home in 2026, make sure you don't do any of these things. Numero uno and most obvious, don't quit your job. Okay, you're going to need to prove that
Again, a great hook. It's very fast, quickly delivered, and it's relevant information to anyone who's thinking about buying a home in 2026, which is relevant to a lot of people, or even people who are thinking about buying beyond that in the future. So notice how she holds the phone first and then she sets it up, and she left space above her head for her text, which is super important to have that text. So leave some space above your head and then below to add captions. She didn't add captions on this one, but if you do add captions, you can add them right above where your name pops up. This is a TikTok video, but same thing applies on Instagram. Now, in your home or office, what I like to do is use the back camera on my phone and put it on cinematic mode. So this will help you get higher quality. I'll show you how you can still see yourself if you're using your back camera. So camera at around eye level, step back so there's space around you. Again, space above your head for that title, and then space down here for your caption. Good lighting on your face, nice, clean, uncluttered background. So on cinematic mode, you don't want to always have cinematic mode set up on your camera, especially when you're recording listings or local B-roll content. Cinematic mode is really only for when you're using close-up detailed shots, have good lighting, and mostly when you're doing talking head reels. So it just adds a blurred background effect and keeps the main subject in sharper focus. So watch this video to see the difference from your front camera to using cinematic mode with a light ring. This is me recording with my front camera. This is when I switch to the back camera. This is when I switch to cinematic mode. This is when I add a light. And this is when I add a microphone. So this is the video now, and this is the video how it started with the front camera, and then this is the video at the end. I always use a light ring because I think it makes the video look so much better and cleaner, and I use a little microphone because I like to have that crisp sound. So I link the microphone and everything that I use in the reels. Popping in as I'm editing this video, one thing that I forgot to mention that I want to show you is recording with your back camera in 0.5x. This is great for when you're on the go. You don't see yourself, but you will be surprised by how easy it is to capture yourself holding out your camera like this in 0.5x. So this is great for when you're out and about touring a listing and you're talking to the camera like this. So wanted to add that tip as well. Guide. So here's how to screen mirror from your phone to your laptop so you can see yourself and how you look on your laptop while you're recording from your back camera on your phone. So on your phone, if you have an iPhone, if you don't have an iPhone, this may look different for you, but you can Google it for whatever devices you have. I have Mac devices, so this is how I do it. Swipe down from the top right, and if you see the two little squares icon, that's the screen mirroring icon, so you can click on that. But if you don't see it there, I didn't see it on mine when I first looked, what you can do is click that blank space right over here and hold down until you can edit your control center, which is what this page is called. Click add a control, and then you'll just click on screen mirroring right there, add it to your page, and then you can click on it and select your laptop or whatever device you're going to screen mirror on. And now you can see your phone screen, so you can see what's showing on your camera as you're recording. So now let's get into editing your videos. The two different tools that I use to edit videos are CapCut on the desktop, where I can actually edit my videos on my computer, where it's so much easier than on the phone, and the Edits app, where I finish off my video usually and then post it directly to Instagram from the Edits app. So to show you guys how to edit the video, I'm actually going to record a video and we'll edit it together. So I am going to use the Coffee and Contracts Content Studio to generate my script. So let me get that pulled up. All right, so this is the Content Studio in Coffee and Contracts. This is a new feature. It is still in beta, so we're still testing it and perfecting it. So what you're gonna do is fill in your profile first so that we can get more information on you, your ideal client, your positioning, and then you'll click on the reel scripts and generate your hooks. Now you can click this button and continue to generate new new scripts and edit your profile. But we are giving you 5 scripts that are following a particular framework. And our plan is to continue to add more options for you. These are talking head reels, like the ones that we've been talking about. So that is the purpose of these. So I am going to use one of these reel scripts that it generated for me, and I'm going to record a video that we can edit together. I'm going to make this super easy so that I can just record it right here and show you guys. I have a phone case with an Octobuddy on it specifically that I can pull out and use as I need to. I don't have the Octobuddy on my phone all the time because I have my wallet on my phone. And if I don't have that, then I'll forget my wallet everywhere I go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick my phone on the computer, and I'm just going to use the front camera for this video. So 1 second. So I'm going to stick my phone on the computer with my Octobuddy. And I also like to have my ring light. So I'm going to turn that on and put that right in front of me. It just kind of brightens my face, and I like to be as bright as possible. So now I'm going to start reading the script and showing you how I would record this video. And we're just going to keep it simple, and then I'm going to show you how we'll edit it. So I have text above my head. I am in the center here, and I've got my little fake microphone. Actually, since I have this microphone, I'm just going to use it. So let's just go ahead and give it a go. So I'm going to look at my first line here. That cute 1950s St. Pete house can come with a $20,000 surprise. So here we go. That cute 1950s St. Pete bungalow can come with this. I messed up right away, but we're just going to keep going, and I'm going to cut that out later. So I'm going to look at it again. That cute 1950s St. Pete house can come with a $20,000 surprise. That cute 1950s St. Pete house can come with a $20,000 surprise. That didn't feel that natural, so let's try it again. Remember, if you start to kind of get into this loop of like trying to read it exactly how it is, just remember what you're trying to say and pretend like you are talking to a real person. So I'm saying that cute 1950s bungalow could come with a $20,000 surprise. So look, I just did it. So here we go. That cute 1950s St. Pete bungalow can come with a $20,000 surprise. All right, good. Now let's do the next line. So I read it, take note of it, and it's not the roof, it's the cast iron drain lines. Nailed it. Okay, so now let's read it again. A lot of those mid-century homes still have them, and once they start failing, you're looking at $8,000 to $20,000 depending on access and how much gets replaced. That's a long one. So let's look at the concept. A lot of those mid-century homes still have them, and once they start failing, you're looking at around $8,000 to $20,000 depending. That's where it gets hard. I'm going to cut that part out. So again, you don't have to follow the script exactly like it is. It's just the message you want to get across in your voice. A lot of those mid-century homes still have them, and you're looking at about $8,000 to $20,000 if you need to get them replaced. So we did good there. Here's the part that catches people. The house can look spotless, new kitchen, fresh paint, great curb appeal, and the drains are still original. Here's the part that catches people. The house can look refinished. Here's the part that catches people. The house can look spotless, new kitchen. Here's the part that catches people. The house can look spotless, new paint, fresh kitchen, fresh remodel, but those cast iron pipes are still cast iron. Put a little spin on it. I don't know. Okay. If you're touring older homes, ask 2 questions right away. So if you're touring older homes in St. Pete, ask these 2 questions right away. Has the sewer line been replaced? And can we scope it? See? And can we scope it during inspection? A sewer scope is usually a few $100 and it can save you from a massive headache. If you want my buyer roadmap to St. Pete, comment roadmap and I'll send it over. All right, we're good. We recorded in 3 minutes. Now let's edit her. So what I would typically do here is put it on the CapCut app on my desktop. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you how to do it in the Edits app because it is 100% free and everyone has access to it. So I'm going to use that one. But I do use CapCut on my desktop. You can edit it using the transcript, which is very easy for cutting it and making it a lot easier to follow. But for this video, I am going to show you how I do it on my phone. So I go into my gallery and I'm going to upload my video that I just recorded into the Edits app. Now, what I'm going to do first is grab all of those mistakes and pauses. So I just have my quick video clip. So how I'm going to do that is one thing that I like to do is click on captions and have it generate the captions first. This way I can just easily cut out those blank spots where I'm not saying anything at all. And I can see what I'm saying, so I can easily cut that transcript out. So you can see there's this big gap right away where I'm not talking, and I'm going to select the video, and you'll see I'm selecting the entire video here. But what I'm going to do is split it right where I want the video to start. So I'm going to click split on the bottom left, and then I'm going to select that video that's just blank of me doing nothing, and I'm just going to delete it altogether. Now, this is going to delete the caption a lot of the time if it's still tied to that section of the video, but we were just using that to help us, so we're good right now. We're just going to go through and kind of cut out all those pauses. Comment roadmap and I'll send it over. And we're going to stop there. So now our video is about 40 seconds, which is perfect. 40 seconds is a great amount of time for a talking head reel. You don't want it to be too long. You need to get your point across very quickly. Okay, so now we're going to go in and we're going to re-add those captions. So I just click on the captions icon again, and I'm going to hit replace. Now you'll see our video is much more succinct and all of the captions are basically touching each other, which means I cut out any long pauses. You want to make sure that there are no pauses in your video and that you're constantly talking. There's always something going on. So another thing to notice as well is that I start talking immediately when the video starts. You don't want to have a millennial pause where you pause and stare at the camera for a second and then start talking. It needs to start right when the video starts, you start talking. Okay, so we have our captions, but now let's edit those captions. So what I'm going to do is click on that blue line where I can see my captions showing up above the video, and I'm going to hit edit. Now, I don't like where it says that cute 1950s saint, and then the next line it says Pete Bungalow. Instead, I'm going to move that line up. So you can actually go in and edit these. So I'm going to do the backspace. Cute 1950s so that it all goes together. Can come with a $20,000 surprise. So that's how you can edit your captions in the wording. You click on it, click edit, and then you can adjust the line. So we had another line where it did St. Pete on 2 different lines. So I'm just going to combine those. And then it did right away underneath as well. So I'm just going to move that up. And then let's adjust the style. So I'm going to click on the style after I have selected my captions. Ooh, it doesn't have a good little frame there of my face. And one style that I really like, which then you don't even have to worry about the lines that I just showed you, is this one right here where it goes one word at a time. I've been really enjoying that one. So you can choose a style that you like. Go over to your fonts, and I have been using instrumental in our instrument serif in our captions. So I'm going to use that one. And I like to click on the icon on the very top right that removes the border. I think that the border just doesn't look very aesthetic. I always like to remove that one. And then I have this nice view. Another good style that you could do is just the regular captions. And then for the font, use classic because that is pretty much the same font across TikTok and Instagram. So you could repurpose this on TikTok with that. That's another good font. I'll use that one as the example here. If you click on the captions and drag them down, you're going to see where you should not be placing the captions. Do not place it behind your profile information because then they can't read it. So I typically do it right above, and I think that looks great. You can read it well. Now, what I typically do is replace the first line of the caption with my text hook. So I'm going to click text on the bottom there, and I'm going to type in a very short title that gets people curious to keep watching. So I'm going to put something along the lines of watch before you buy that cute 1950s home. So now they're like, I need to watch. I'm very curious. I may not even be thinking about buying a 1950s home, but I need to know what this person's going to say. This seems interesting. I like to use the Advercase font for this. You guys probably have noticed this on my videos. And then I just put it right above my head here. And I am going to do the typewriter effect. So I click on the text there. I go to edit, and then I click on that A with the little 3 lines. That is where you'll find your animations, and I do typewriter. Now, here is a cool way to hook your audience here. What I'm going to do next is add a sound effect of the typewriter. So at the bottom here, I scroll over to sound effects, and I am going to type in typing. Now, I think the one I like is typing fast 4. And I select that. So let's watch it all together. Now, as soon as the typewriter effect stops, I'm going to stop that sound effect so it's not still typing when nothing's being typed. So I just watch it again. Okay, so it stops right there. So you see how the typing, the pink line is still going. We're just going to grab that end, the right arrow in yellow, and drag that over right to where my cursor is and right where it stops. So let's watch it through. So this is something that I do regularly on our videos. I think it's a great visual and auditory hook, and it just is kind of like nice and organized. I like it, so feel free to try it as well. Then I take that first caption because it's kind of redundant now with the title, and I just delete that first one and click delete phrase. So it just deletes that, and I replace it with my title over the top. Now let's make sure that this makes sense with it. So we're just going to cut out that part where it says it. Now let's add another visual hook. Let's take it up a notch. So one that we can add here is an actual photo of a 1950s bungalow. So what we can do is click overlay, go to gallery, and this is where you can add in a photo of a bungalow. So I could go over to Google. So this is an image on Wikipedia. So it is typically Wikipedia photos are free for use. So I go over to overlays, go to gallery, and I'm just going to grab that photo. And I can throw this on top to add another kind of visual hook there. So I'm going to have it go at about 1 second in and only stay for about a second. And now when I say 20,000, one thing you can do to add a little bit of an effect or emphasis here is I'm going to add a split right before I say that, the 20,000. I'm going to grab my video, hit split, and now this 1.5 section, I'm going to just zoom in on my face here. I don't know why it zoomed out like that. There may be an effect on it. No, or there may be a transition, but I don't hate it, honestly. Oh, I accidentally added a keyframe. So I'm just going to remove that keyframe. And you can continue to do that to hold attention. So I'm going to split here, and then I'm going to do that zoom. And let's see how this one did. You could take a screenshot here and maybe just put this little AI overview on top. Public info that anyone could get off Google. Go over to overlays, gallery, and add in this so people can kind of see what that means. and then cut that video, that overlay back. And again, you can continue to add more here. The goal is to keep people engaged and to watch the whole video through. So then once you're done, you'll hit export and grab your caption and post your reel. You can download this directly to your phone once it gets to this screen. And then I click Instagram to go ahead and post. So I'd copy my caption over from Coffee and Contracts and paste it in. Good to go. So then I'm going to choose my cover photo on this reel. So I just click edit cover. I typically just save it from the video when that title is showing. So you could even do it when that like bungalow is showing so that it's very visual. Unfortunately, I make a weird face during that, but I always try to get it when my face doesn't look that crazy. And then just grab it from the video like that. Then you are ready to share your... My video got cut off right at the end there, but now you are ready to post your reel. Yay! Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly hope you found it super helpful. I hope you walk away learning something new and feeling inspired to create your own reels. If you want to see the rest of the training videos on voiceover reels and B-roll reels, you can access those in Coffee and Contracts. It's included in our membership and one monthly price. You can also grab our free Reels guide in the description below. And thank you again for watching. I truly hope that this video was helpful. Subscribe if you like these videos and comment down below and let me know what you learned.